Welcome to the beautiful River Tees, where it curves around Barnard Castle in picturesque County Durham. This is a town where I hope our teams will find some brilliant bargains. You know the rules. A generous £300 to spend. A strict hour to go shopping. You get the services of your own knowledgeable bargain hunt expert who'll help you to make perfect purchases to sell on later at auction. Well, that's the aim anyway. Do you want to meet today's contestants? Then let's op it. Now, peace and harmony and happiness at home will all depend on certain decisions made today. Because both of our teams are happily married couples. Well, at least they're happily married at the moment. We've got Chris and Louise for the Reds, and we have Simon and Naomi for the Blues. Welcome to Bargain Hunt.
Hello.
Absolutely smashing to see you. Now, Lulu Bell, tell me how you and your hubby first met.
We worked together for a while, became best friends. We were seeing other people at the time, but we fell in love and ended up together. And we've been married nearly 4 years now and have a 6-month-old daughter called Isabel.
The romance! The romance is too lovely, isn't it? Yeah. Darling, what do you do?
I'm a student studying forensic biology at Teesside University.
Studying what?
Forensic biology.
Forensic biology?
Yes.
So do you go off to the morgue a lot then and
Not
fiddle
yet,
about?
I've got to wait till next year for that.
Oh, next year for morgue
But
work.
I can't wait, it's noted in my diary.
Yeah. Sounds great. Now, Chris, tell me, you're a doctor.
I am, yeah, I'm Dr. Laptop.
Dr. Laptop. What's that mean?
Basically, I set a company up last year trying to sort of fill the gap in the market because there's people who are having problems with their laptops and they were just spending a fortune getting them repaired. So I thought, well, I enjoy doing electrical engineering. I thought I'd give it a go, and it's taken off quite nicely.
Well,
so.
I bet it has.
Yeah.
So tell me, why are you leaving the country then?
We're both planning to move to Canada because there's a market there for the work we're doing. And it's obviously, you know, they're wanting people like us over there. And the standard of living in general seems nice. You know.
But anyway, we've got you on the programme today, and I'm sure you're going to do extraordinarily well. Now, for Les Bleus. Look at them. Do they not look like a blushing couple? How brilliant. How long have you been married for?
Just 6 months, got married in August.
Oh, isn't that lovely? How did you two young adventurers meet, Naomi?
Well, I was working at a Christian outdoor centre in North Wales, and Simon came and joined me in my second year. We met there, and it all went from there, really.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good, isn't it? Was it kind of caramba, and you thought, this is the most gorgeous man I've ever seen, and, you
Not
know...
quite.
Not quite? All right.
Simon chased me, quite literally, actually.
Did he? The devil, that's never right. Well, I don't blame him, actually. But you have got a good eye for a deal there, haven't you?
We did. As poor newlyweds, we needed to have a good eye for bargain, really.
Yeah.
And we've managed to get a 3-piece suite from the internet for 99p.
What, 3 pieces? Did you really?
Yeah.
So you got cushions and everything?
Yeah, cushions and covers. And
Is it clean?
Yes.
Now, Simon, you're a bit of an adrenaline junkie, it says here.
Well, that's right. I volunteer with the local mountain rescue team, and I'm also a final year student nurse, hoping to go into A&E nursing when I qualify.
All right, so you like the A&E, do you?
Well, yeah, I like the rush and the adrenaline.
Yeah, on the edge, life or death, wheel 'em in.
Just like that.
Just like that. Do you think you're going to be any good at this bargain hunting lark?
Well, hopefully we've got a good eye for a bargain. We're going to go for nice, simple, useful, pretty things. And we'll see how we do.
Well, I like that, and I like your youthful enthusiasm. But I have to tell you, which team is going to win then?
Well,
which team is going to win?
be us, isn't it, really?
That's what I want to
be
know.
the Reds.
Which team is going to win? Well, anyway, we'll find out in a minute as the programme progresses, but right now you're going to get £300. Your rate of progress could get 300 3-piece suites for your £300. But please don't go buying any 3-piece suites, all right? You know the rules, your experts await, and off you go, and very, very, very good luck. Isn't that brilliant? Two romantico couples. Are we going to have a romantic outcome?
Investigating for the Reds is Charles Hanson. And orienteering for the Blues is Paul Laidlaw.
It's a nice plate, Louise. It's Staffordshire, 1840.
A bit oriental.
Yes, it does, yeah. 100 years old.
Sorry to disrupt you.
That's okay.
I've just come across this. I've been told it's a solid silver sandwich box. What do you think?
Well, it's easy for you to say, hey. Let's have a look. Well, it sparkles, first of all,
It does, it's
Louise,
lovely.
and you're a sparkly sort of...
It's very heavy as well.
It is heavy, and that's a good sign, Chris. First of all, weight, gauge of silver is very important. You said a sandwich box. How do we know that?
Well, I mean, I think it's multifunctional. I mean, certainly if you don't want to stick a, a bog stand with cheese and pickle sandwich in there, you could use it for something, maybe cigars or something.
I think it's important, any sort of rectangular box of this type. It could be a cigar box. It could be for a variety of uses. But on here, Chris, Louise, importantly, it's got the hallmarks on, which is a good sign. And we can see there's a crown for Sheffield. There's also the young Queen Victoria's sovereign's head. So we know it's pre-1895 or thereabouts. And the date letter P, and we can date silver so precisely, is for 1891. It's very nice. What's it worth?
It's £180 they're wanting for it. Obviously,
It's a lot.
it's a lot of money. But I mean, what do you think it would fetch at a sale?
What is it worth? If it came to a valuation date, I would say to a client, hopefully up in Yorkshire, the estimate will be perhaps 100, 150. Right. On a good day, the wind blowing up in Leyburn, it might make 160, 180 pounds. It's a very commercial, very novel piece of silver.
Shall I try and wangle the price down then?
Wangle?
Yes.
What's wangle?
Barter.
Barter.
Barter. Is that a northern term?
I use it.
Go on then, get off then.
Thank you very much.
Chris and Louise snapped up the sandwich box for £145. Tasty.
I quite like the little mustard dishes.
Yeah, they're nice with the little blue inside.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I saw you looking at silver earlier on, and I wondered if you like that.
Oh, that's nice, yeah. It's
It's
really
nice and,
dainty.
yeah, simple, isn't it?
Yeah. Tell me what it is.
A very small candle holder.
Yeah, I thought you might say that. That's a taper stick, which beggars the question, what on earth is a taper when it's at home? A taper is, to all intents and purposes, a little dinky candle.
Right.
And you use a taper to carry light from room to room. So I'm sat in my Georgian drawing room. I've done some quaffing. I'm feeling a little bit tired. I'm off to bed, darling. And I take some light from the table candlestick and I retreat up the stairs and I use this to light the candles in my bedroom. That's a taper stick for you. Now, next question. How old is it?
I have no idea.
They weren't using them in the 50s, I'll give you that much.
1920s?
Okay, bit older than that. In aesthetic and style, it's early Georgian, the first half of the 18th century. But strictly speaking, this is a reproduction of the late Victorian era, 1900. Okay. Now let's look in detail at what we have here. We have a lovely little wasted socket for our taper, and then this knopped baluster stem on this elegant little hexagonal pan. And to carry it upstairs, we have this absolutely delicious little sea scroll handle. Now, you take a hold of that and give me your reaction.
Oh, it is very heavy for its size,
Isn't it?
So it's silver then?
Good question. It is. And these little hallmarks here assure us of that, telling us that it was assayed in London in 1900.
Right.
How much is it?
Right. I've got the price down to £80. I think we need more than that, to be honest with you. As an auctioneer, come to my sale room, I'd estimate that at £50 to £80.
Right.
But let's say I could get, let's say I could get it for 60.
That'd be ideal,
that'd be
wouldn't
good.
You think that's a go? I mean, I think
Yeah.
there's a bet in that. So, am I under orders?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's really nice.
go for it, yeah.
At just £60, will the blues taper stick glow?
One of the great things about being on bargain hunt is having your opportunity of poking about in all this stuff. Just look at this shop, absolutely crammed with gear, and just occasionally you can come across something that is absolutely dreamy, like this joker here. Your first challenge is to tell me what it is. I mean, it looks a bit like a child's scooter with handlebars, except it's missing the wheels. Well, I have to tell you, this thing was made a long time before your average child's scooter. I think it was probably made around 1800 to 1820. It's made of the most delicious mahogany. This darkish red mahogany is called Honduras mahogany, and it was imported into this country in quite large quantities by fine cabinet makers, including Messrs. Gillows. You think about a firm like Gillows as only making bits of furniture. Well, they didn't. They made entire house contents, all the requisites for a rich country landowner. And the person who owned this object certainly was a landowner. He was a man of property. He was in business. And to get around his business empire, he had to ride a horse. The horse was the equivalent of his motor car. But once he got home, he'd want to relax up. And one of the boring things about being a horseman is wearing those long leather boots. Because when you get home and you're tired at the end of a long day, you've got to take the boots off. And this thing was made specifically as a boot jack, an aid to your removal of those very dirty, boring, tight leather riding boots. And it's got one or two interesting features. The handlebars, so to speak, would take your weight. You'd insert your booted foot like that, pushing up that front bar, which is shaped to curve over the top of your foot. And I give a bit of a heave-ho. Look at that! The heel slips out of the shoe in this case, but the boot if you were wearing a hunting boot. I once followed one of these in a sale. I thought, what a nice object that is for £200 to £300. Do you know what it made in the auction? It made £1,200. So I know this sort of object can make money. This one is available in Barnard Castle today for £220. And I happen to know that the dealer would negotiate down to £180. And at that, I have to say, it's pretty cheesy.
Oh, ahoy there. What have you got?
A hand-painted military-style wallet.
Yes.
With somebody's initials.
Yeah. And Chris, what have you got?
Yeah, I've got a pair of binoculars. I wasn't sure how old they were. But I mean, they look well used, and they certainly look
Again,
quite old.
Chris, looking at their type and their colour, they would probably be about 1915 as well. So, of that First World War period, this is a very, very nice. It's early 20th century, and importantly, it's also this military interest. We've got this obviously artillery soldier, First World War, inscribed Calais, 1918, in this very, very nice Art Nouveau frame. So what we've almost got here is licorice allsort. Almost a wonderful lot of objects of a First World War interest. And finally, I've got these as well. And again, to really round it all off, I've found these really nice pair of medals. It's the Great War Medal and also the Victory Medal awarded to a private. And again, they are of such great interest to collectors. They are, I think they're all individually priced, aren't they? Mine's 35, there's prices here as well. I'd almost say the market today, romance of these items, it's almost an idea to put them together in a parcel lot. And I could see a collector wishing to pay perhaps between £80 and £120. OK, Louise, so what do you think?
Well, there's no money in the wallet. I did have a good look.
Yeah, and I won't see if these are going to work anyway.
Well, they're good working order, Chris. So where do we go from here, though? Should we find our man to pay for them?
Yeah, definitely.
And we'll go and see if we can barter down the price.
The Red's very interesting lot of militaria was bought for only £90.
What do you think of them then?
That's so cool. Just that kind of thing.
Yeah, be good for mountain rescue.
Look, guys, I'm guessing you didn't bring them with you, and I'm hoping you're not being serious.
Oh, they're good fun,
They're
aren't they?
fantastic.
I'm guessing we're not allowed to buy them.
Yeah. Oh, but wait a minute. Maybe there's more to these than we thought. Look at this for a provenance. Sir Andrew Common, Hunter House, Shotley Bridge, County Durham.
Right.
Sheriff of Durham.
Right.
And our man, the High Sheriff, bought second hand because he bought ex-army government surplus snowshoes.
How do you know they're government surplus?
Well, see the marks on these webbing straps here?
Yeah.
There's a government broad arrow there, and that's an Ordnance Inspector's mark.
Right.
And I am sufficiently sad to be able to tell you that BH&G Limited, Barrow, Hepburn and Gale, government contractors to the War Office during the Second World War. And these are actually fabulously rare.
Really?
But no one cares. But no, they do. They do. Look, it's a hell of a niche market. Chances of us finding the few collectors who are interested in such at the auction room, I don't know, it's a real long shot. But, my word, they're quirky.
What do you think at £75 though?
We need to do some work there, don't we? We really need to try hard, get that price down to up the odds a wee bit.
Okay, shall we go for them?
Yeah, let's go for them.
Awesome.
See what you can do.
Snowshoes. Well, I never. At £50, they're hoping for stormy weather with those. Mush, mush.
After our teams have found their 3 items, the experts will be given any leftover lolly to go and find a bonus buy. That special piece that may boost their team's profits over at the auction. The big question is, will the experts' intuition prove to be correct?
I've made a decision. We're going to get this.
All right.
It reminds me.
Go on, let it.
It reminds me of our daughter Isabel. I think it's a baby plate. What do you think?
Yes, it is. It's very nice. What we've got is a wonderful printed scene here. Fairy folk with tiny wings flying all over my plates and things. Isn't it sweet?
It's lovely.
It is, yeah. Yeah, it's lovely.
And what we've got here, actually, Louise, it's a design. On the base here, we can see Mabel Lucy Atwell. Mabel was a really great illustrator. She was really made famous by the Peter Pan book of 1930, which she illustrated. We turn it upside down. Now, who's made it? Do we know?
I haven't looked.
There we go.
Shelley.
Shelley, yes, I've heard of
Great,
that.
great name. And what's it worth, Louise?
Well, it's £35 the ticket price on it.
Well, I think at auction, Louise, it's something worth, on a bad day, 20, on a really good day, £35.
Right.
So I think, be decisive.
I think it's worth a shot. I'll go and barter them down and see how much I can get off it.
At £30, Louise was bowled over by the baby plate.
Look what we bought while you were lounging around.
Mind readers. Oh, yes. And Shiraz, my favourite. But this, you've bought the carrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my word, well done you. Why?
It's nice, it's pretty, it's simple, it's useful.
We figured it would appeal to most people because a lot of people drink wine, so.
I agree with all of the above. Sold. Yeah. Well, look, what can I add to this? Yeah, indeed. Isn't it elegant? And wouldn't this sit in today's home without any trouble at all? Mm-hmm. And doesn't it elevate your bottle of supermarket plonk somewhat? Yeah? So let's look at this actually. We've got a silver plate here. I'll just slip that down there, have that later. Let's look at scissor action here. Okay. And that hinge is nice and tight. It's not done too much work. So there we go. We open it up. There's our bottle. Over she goes. Close that down there. I like that very much. Yeah, I've got no trouble with that. But what was the damage?
We managed to get it down to £45.
If I were placing an auction estimate on that, and I'll be mean,
Right.
I'd say £30 to £50.
Right.
So I think you're there or thereabouts. Not in the bag, but it could easily be.
Excellent.
Well done. Pop off. Come back with 3 glasses. We'll see you then.
Time's up. Let's recap on what the Reds have bought.
Chris and Louise's silver sandwich box is pretty, but at £145, is it too big for your lunchbox? Their Militaria collection is a great piece of history, but will it start a victory for the Reds? At £30, is the Shelley plate going to make them cry like a baby at the auction?
Now, Chris and Lulu, did you have a great time?
Yes, we did. Thank you.
It looked fantastic. Now, which is your favourite item, Lou?
The baby ball.
Really?
Yes.
You love that little bowl?
Yes.
Very good. What's your favourite item?
The solid silver sandwich box.
Oh, yeah. Super. And which item's going to bring the biggest profit?
The baby bowl.
The baby bowl. Very good. And
The
you agree
solid
with the bowl? You
solid
don't?
silver
You're
sandwich
back
box.
with the old
Yeah,
sandwich
yeah,
job.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
fine. Well, fair enough. We've got a split decision. £265 you spent, which was marvellous. £35 worth of leftover lolly, please. Very good. That's going across to Carlos.
Thank you very much.
The young pretender.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Raring
Charles.
to go.
You're raring to go.
I really am,
I
sir.
mean, the enthusiasm that you express on this programme, Charles, is quite extraordinary.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's
Thank
marvellous.
you.
Now, only £35, what are you going to spend it on?
I think, Tim, something with a good pedigree, something which really has had a good life, a good marriage, and maybe then it's just broken up, but it's come back together again, and it's going to have a good rapport to collectors, if that makes sense.
Yeah, this is your bonus buy.
Yeah, I think it is.
All wrapped in one object.
Risky,
well,
but...
I just can't wait to see what you're going to go and buy, Charles.
Good on.
You better shove off and get it in case it's been sold. Meanwhile, we will remind ourselves what the blues bought.
Will Simon and Naomi's taper stick light up a profit at the auction? Their snowshoes may be quirky, but will they put them on the wrong footing? And will the bidders get punched drunk at the sight of their bottle holder? We'll have to wait and see.
Now, you had fun, didn't you?
Yeah, it's great, yeah.
Fantastic. Which is your favourite piece?
The snowshoes, definitely.
Snowshoes, do you agree with
Definitely
that?
the snowshoes, Tim.
Okay, it got you all over them, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
definitely
Okay,
has.
super duper. Which is going to bring the biggest profit, though? The snowshoes?
No, I don't think so.
Probably not.
No, the taper holder.
Yeah,
I reckon.
is that the one?
Yeah.
Confident with that.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, you spent £155.
Yeah.
And £145 worth of leftover lolly, please.
Indeed.
£145. Here we go, £145. What think you of that?
If it were mine, I would think a lot more.
No, quite. It's quite a lot of money, isn't it?
It's, again, a good budget. I like it.
I mean, you going out shopping big time then, or you doing a cautious and soft underbelly approach?
Let's go with the canny Scots approach, shall we?
OK, well, as per usual, and make a whacking great profit on it, we hope. Well done, Paul. Well, while he's doing that, I'm going to shove off and go and have a look at a bit of history.
Museums come in all shapes and sizes, and you'd think somewhere as big as Beamish Museum near Newcastle would have all the space in the world it needs to show off all its exhibits.
But even here, with their 300 acres and their very own 100-year-old fully restored town, they haven't got enough space to display all their items. It's an embarrassment of riches, really, but an increasing problem as more and more people donate things to the museum's collections.
And it's not just pots and pans. Beamish has been given things as large as tractors, horse-drawn vehicles, railway rolling stock, and even whole steam engines. It holds these in a massive purpose-built air-conditioned store. The biggest challenge, though, is to keep track of all their smaller objects.
Here in the northeast of England, the local authorities have got together to solve the problem in rather an unusual way here at what they call their Regional Resource Centre. Imagine you've got a family piece or something that you bought at auction and you want to research it. You want to find out whether it's in the collections here. Well, where better place to start than the old computer. Now, what I have in mind is a ceramic item, so I type in CERAMIC, and then we give it a bit of a search, and what is going to come up? A whole raft of potential here. There we go. That's the fellow that I'm after. Now, you have to admit, that does look absolutely hideous, doesn't it? Well, hideous or beautiful, it's all in the eye of the beholder.
Ta-ra! I'm going to try and find the actual tray amongst the 40,000 items they've managed to preserve here.
They solved the storage problem by taking a large building with a floor area of about a tennis court, installing air conditioning and climate control, and then this amazing facility of storage shelves. These things go from floor to ceiling along the whole length of the building, and effectively, at the end of the day, you get the equivalent of 11 tennis courts worth of storage. Isn't that extraordinary? Now, I'm after my ceramic. Here we are, look, O2, domestic pottery and ornaments. Let's have a look inside there and see what we've got. Just look what's opened up. A whole world of amazing shelves. And here it is, my long-lost Geordie work of art. You might say, well, it's only made of old broken shards of pottery. How can I describe this as a work of art? They've taken a piece of a broken German biscuit mantelpiece figure and then artfully plastered a whole mosaic to cover a core, which is, after all, only a cheap tin tea tray. It's a great object. So how many objects will they manage to cram into the auction room, eh? Well, it's very, very nice to be in Tennant's sale room in Leyburn with the boss, Roddy Tennant. Morning, Roddy.
Good morning, Tim.
You in good voice?
Yes, I am at the moment. At the end of the
good.
sale, I might not be.
Excellent. Anyway, Chris and Louise, first item for them is this wee sandwich box.
Let me have a look at this one.
Said to be 1892.
Silver one, yes, Sheffield. Victorian head on there, Victorian mark.
I have to say, I rather like these.
Solid. Well, I like them as well, but I've never ever seen anybody use one. Maybe on the hunting field.
Yes. It's why they were so slim in those days, Roddy,
Yes.
because if you had your lunch out of that little box,
That was it.
right, you haven't got anything else.
No, that's it.
You'd be thin as a pencil by the end of the day, wouldn't you?
Yes. It's worth more than the sort of 40 to 60 pounds that I think we may get for it
Is that,
at the
is
auction.
that your estimate is, 40 to 60?
I would have thought so.
I don't want to surprise you here, but £145 was paid. £145 is an awful lot
I
of
would
money,
have thought that's
isn't it?
nearer a retail price
Yes.
than an auction price.
I'd be surprised if that made more than £60, I have to say. We're smelling a bit of a loss on that anyway. The next is rather an interesting little group of sort of First World War period items. They've got the frame and the medals and whatnot. How do you feel about that lot, Rodney?
But I rather like it. It's sort of nostalgic. I suppose a lot of people like myself, they would have had family there in the Somme and in the First World War, and it's just pure nostalgia. This, I think, is particularly interesting. At first, I didn't pick it up. I thought just leather wallet, no particular interest, because how often do you find them painted like this with the regimental,
Right.
the regiment in it, the crest, and the lancer, and so on and so forth. And I'm not the head of the picture department, but I have sold a lot of paintings, military paintings like this, by a chap called Simkin. And to me, this hand is very much of that quality. It's not signed, but it's a professional hand.
Yes.
I think that's highly likely, in which case it's a regimental museum piece.
Well, there we go. Isn't
Yes,
that interesting?
it is. But overall, I would like to think the whole lot could make over 100, but 70 to 90 would be a sensible estimate.
Okay. £90 paid.
Well,
So
that's fine.
Within the bounds of it all, isn't it?
Yes.
It all depends on how excited people get about the wallet, isn't it?
It is really. It
Okay,
is.
brilliant. Now, do you remember these little baby plates? These Atwell transfer decorated Shelley dishes?
Well, I do remember them, but I don't think that I had one with by Lucy Atwell like this on.
But quite collectible, though.
Yes, they are. They are. They're again, it's back to pure nostalgia, isn't it?
Absolutely.
£20-ish.
Okay, 30-day paid. Well, looking at this group, depending on how the wallet gets on, I do feel they've got a real big hole that's opening up underneath that sandwich box. So overall, they're going to need their bonus buy. Let's go and have a look at it. Now, Lulu, Chris, you gave the maestro, Carlos, £35. Look at him blushing like a bride. Anyway, £35, he spent it, all of it, some of it, reveal all.
All
Charles.
spent, Tim, for
All
a
spent.
wonderful object. Look at that.
Oh, right.
It has provenance. It has pedigree. This object, Chris, is about 220 years old.
Really?
Hey, it had a new handle. It had a wonderful old replaced white metal spout. It's Chinese, it's Qianlong, and it's 18th century.
Will the restorations make a difference to the price?
I think it gives it charm. It gives it a certain
Like it's been loved.
quality. Absolutely. It's
Here we go
cost
again.
me £35. If it doesn't make that and a bit more, I should be amazed.
Right.
I think you like it, Lulu, don't you? You don't? Oh, that's great. Well, that's quite clear. I think you like it, don't you, Chris?
It's interesting.
Ah, there we go.
It's
Good word, interesting.
Interesting. It's
I'll
kind
stop
of-
while you're ahead.
It's certainly
Battered.
used.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it.
I mean, it is over 200-year-old, so yeah, it's going to be used, isn't it? So,
I mean, would you buy a bit of used china from this man? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. And if you would, you'll go with him at the moment. But you don't have to decide right now.
Right.
You'll decide after the sale of your first 3 items. And for the viewers at home, let's find out what the auctioneer thinks about the battered teapot. So there we go, Rodney.
Right.
Rather a handsome thing, I'd say.
Well, it is. I think this is the earliest object that I've seen today. It's Chinese porcelain, made in the reign of the Emperor Kang He. It's probably 1700, 1720 in date. And it was always a very prized item. I mean, tea, don't forget, tea was in caddies, locked with the key, so nobody could steal the tea. I mean, hence, when this got damaged and the teapot spout went, they actually replaced it with a silver one. A silversmith has come in and made it. That's how much they treasured this pot at the time that it was done. And the handle here has been replaced with a non-burn handle. If anybody wanted an academic piece for their collection, then they should certainly pay £35, £45 in the auction today for that. Yeah. They should.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to be very interesting to us to see how much you do actually sell it for in the auction.
Yes.
Good fun. Anyway, that's it for the reds. Now for the blues. Simon and Naomi. Their first piece is this sweet little polyagonal taper stick.
It's got a London mark on it.
Yes.
London piece, solid silver, but it's 50 to 70 pounds.
£60 paid.
Yes, it's got to be that sort of money, hasn't it?
That sort of money. Anyway, we're not foreseeing a huge profit or a huge loss, hopefully, on that, which is nice.
No.
Now, I know you're very keen on winter sports, Rodney, and you travel all the while to foreign lands. Would this be a piece of kit that might be of interest to you?
Well, so certainly more this than a pair of skis. These are, they're military ones, aren't they?
Yeah.
And decorative. I mean, somebody already has hung them on the wall. There's a hole there.
How much?
25, 35 pounds.
OK, £50 paid. So there could be a bit of a problem with that. It just depends, doesn't it?
Let's hope not.
Let's hope not. Here we go, then, with our little wine bottle holder. That's what I call really classy.
Well, anybody could use that. If you're not going to use the skis, which you may not, but anybody could use that. Just a jolly useful object, isn't it?
And it jollies up an ordinary bottle of plonk,
It does.
too.
It's a smart thing to have, isn't it? It should be worth 35 to 45 pounds.
OK, £45 they paid.
Right, bang on.
So overall, then, not too bad. Just depends on how we get on with the snowshoes. But as we're not too sure what they're going to do, we'd better go and have a look at their bonus buy. £155 you spent. £145 went to Paul. What did you spend it on, please?
I spent it on that little charmer.
Oh.
That do anything for you guys?
It's very small.
I think that's the right thing in the right sale room. Very affluent rural area. And that delicious silver in the form of a riding crop, that lovely little hound's mask, I'll wager that will make eyes at the right buyers today in this sale room.
How much did you pay for it?
Well, that's the punchline. I paid all of £30 for that.
So, are you predicting doubling your money, then? Do you think it's going to make 60 quid? Do you think it's make 80 quid, something like that?
I don't.
You don't?
I think there's £10 in it.
You think it's 10 or 20
Yeah.
pounds in it?
Yeah.
All right, fine. Well, at least he's very bullish and confident with it.
We may
How
well
do you
need
feel
the
about
profit.
it, Si? Are you happy with this?
It's very small. it's not a lot for your money, is it?
Silver.
I think you have to think about it. Just look at the way it's been made, all right?
Yeah.
That little mug shot of that hound isn't just a blob of metal, right? It's all been scratched up, tooled, worked to make it look like a little head.
It's a fine object. The details in it.
I think, Naomi, you've got to trust your expert here, all right?
Yes, I like it.
Yeah.
No, I like it.
OK, good. Well, that's nice. I think everybody likes it. Let's find out whether the auctioneer likes it. So, Rodney, what more appropriate piece of male jewellery could we offer in Yorkshire than this? Pretty good.
Not a lot, really. This is a stock pin, and a silver stock pin with the hunting crop here and the hound's head. I'm sure that we'll find quite a few people would be interested in that. I'd be very disappointed if that didn't make 40 or 50 pounds.
Brilliant. £30 paid. So we stand a good chance for
should
that.
do.
Should get
Yes,
a profit on
yes.
that.
Whips up.
Whips up. Look out. He's off. Anyway, very good luck, Rodney. Thanks a lot. Lulu, Chris, how are you feeling?
Nervous.
But excited.
I am, yes.
Oh, yes. Feeling confident.
Yes, I think the sandwich box is going to do very well.
Do you? Well, unfortunately, you're the only one that does, but at least between the auctioneer and the rest of the team. Anyway, first up is the sandwich box, and here it comes.
Good luck, team.
Lot 94, the Victorian silver sandwich box. Solid silver sandwich box there. £50, may I say? 50. Well, £20 then. £20. I've 20 bid. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90,
Come on.
110, 110 pounds.
Go on.
110 pounds.
Go on.
It's over there on my left. I look round again at 110 pounds. Any advance? 110 pounds.
110. You are minus 35 on
A
that.
pair of field glasses, the World War I medals, and the leather wallet, very, very interestingly painted on the inside, probably by Simpkin. Start me where you will. Start me at £50. First World War memorabilia. 50, at 50 bid, 60, at £60. 70, 80, 90, 110,
Yes.
110, at £110. 120, 130, 140, 150, £150.
Yes.
Here in the front row, at 100, 160, 170, 180, 190,
Look at this.
200, 210, at £210. Any advance this time at £210, all done.
Yes.
£210. That is a lot, isn't it? That's 110. That's 120 pounds up. Look out! Here comes the plate.
Lot 96, the Shelley China plate, decorated by Mabel Lucy Atwell, £10. £10, may I say. 10 is bid, right there at £10. At £10 only bid, I'll take 15 where? 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yes.
No, £30. Right here at £30. On my right again, £30.
£30. It's wiped its face. Overall, you are plus £85. Excellent. You're £85 up. That is a miracle, isn't it?
It is, yes.
So what are you going to do about the old smash pot? This is a difficult one, isn't it? You've got £85 in your back pocket. You have £85.
I think we should. I'm saying nothing.
All right, go on. We'll go with it.
You don't have to go with it, on the other hand. I mean, you could just stick in there.
Do you really think it's going to make...
I like it.
Yeah, but is it going to make a profit, Charles?
Yes, it is.
Right, okay.
Okay, you're going to go with the expert.
I'll go with Charles, but he'll be in trouble if he's wrong.
Right, we have a decision. Look out. Here comes the teapot. Here it comes.
Lot 100, we have the 18th century Chinese globular teapot. You want a piece of academic porcelain? This is it. £20 then. 20, I've 20 bid. 30, 40.
Yes.
50.
Yes,
At £50 on my left.
I'll take it back.
Anyone else? Celine, your last chance at £50, all done.
That is brilliant. £50 plus £15
You're not the only mad one out there.
plus £15 takes you guys to the ton, right? You are £100 in profit. Now the next trick is don't tell the blues.
We won.
Don't say a word to the blues, all right?
Nope.
But that is what I call a result.
Yes.
Well done, Charles.
Thank you very much.
Naomi and Simon. Do you know how the Reds got on?
No idea.
You don't know how. We don't want you to know either. So that's absolutely fantastic. How are you feeling? All right? You look quite excited.
I'm a bit nervous.
She hasn't been sleeping.
Have you not been sleeping? That's bad, isn't it? To miss a night's sleep before you come on bargain. What about you, Simon? You've been a bit on the old nervy side too?
Well, nervous about one or two items.
Anything in particular?
Oh, well, I'm not holding out high hopes on the snowshoes. And
Really?
I really...
Well, listen, I have to tell you, they were your choice, right? So it's no
They
wonder
were.
you're feeling a bit nervy about it. First up is your silver taper stick, and here it comes.
Lot 116, the Victorian silver taper stick. £50. £50, may I say? Well, £20 then. Victorian silver taper stick, £20. 20 bid. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, £70.
£70?
Doorway now at £70 for the very last time at 70. Your bid, sir.
£70 plus £10. You need no worry at all. Now, mountain troops.
Lot 117, the pair of snowshoes, stroke skis. Rather useful if ever we get a bad winter. £50. £20 then. £20. Good. 20 bid. Thank you, sir. £20. At £20, interesting things like that. You've all done at 20. I'll take 5 if you want. 25. £25 on my left, all done this time at £25. Thank you.
£25. You're minus 25 on that. You are overall minus 15. Here we go. Now the plated bottle holder.
Lot 118, the silver-plated wine bottle holder. Very useful thing. Smarten up any dinner party. £30. £20. Wine bottle holder, 20. £10 then, may I say? £10. I've 10 bid. At £10 only bid. 15, 20. At £20. We're all down. Selling away this time at 25. At £25. All down, selling at £25.
Can't bear it. £25. You're minus 20 on that. You're minus 35 overall, right? So what are you going to do about the brooch? You're going to go with this brooch?
It, definitely.
You're definitely going to go with this brooch, aren't you?
Nothing to lose, yeah.
Well, you're going to run with it then?
Yeah.
You're going to go with the
Yeah.
brooch?
Yeah.
We're going with the bonus pie. Here we go.
Lot 122. We have the white metal brooch in the form of the riding crop with the hound mask. £50. £20. 20 bid, at £20 only bid, at 20.
Go on.
At £20 only bid, at 20. Anybody else? I'll take 30 where? At £20 only bid, all done at 20. 30, 40, at £40. No, you all done this time. Selling at £40, all done at 40.
£40 is £40. That is a profit of £10. Well done, Paul. You're minus £25, all right? Don't forget, minus £25 could be a winning score. Don't talk to the Reds.
No.
Go out looking extremely gloomy. And we'll reveal all in a minute.
Okay.
Well done.
Gosh, how exciting is this? As you know, on Bargain Hunt, we only have winners and runners-up, right? But which is which? So have you guys been talking to one another at all?
idea.
Not at all?
No.
You haven't been very sociable, then, have you? Not yet. Anyway, well, we have a runner-up today by a fairly wide margin, and the runners-up are, sadly, the Blues. I'm really sorry, you kids. Right, this isn't right. You started off so beautifully, right? You started off with that lovely £10 profit. Yeah. We had high hopes, didn't we? And then it was kind of downhill all the way. Minus £25. You don't feel too sore about this, Simon, do you?
No.
You all right with it?
Laugh.
It's a good laugh. That's the whole point. It's that sporting spirit, isn't it, Naomi? Anyway, you've been a great team. It's been wonderful having you on the programme. But the victors by a long chalk. Look at them here. Look at this puffing up of face and everything else. You were £85 up on your own account, and then Carlos contributed a further £15 of bonus by dough, which is lovely, which rounds you up to the ton, all right? Can't remember the last time I handed out £100 all in one go. I mean, £100 is just amazing, all right?
Thank you.
Are you staggered, love?
Yes.
Are you?
Amazed.
You're amazed.
I'm amazed.
Well, I'm amazed, too. In fact, we're all amazed. It's been a thoroughly amazing programme. Join us soon for some more bargain hunting, yes? Yes!
Just what will Sissy do next? We actually dread to think. Jimmy's still a little tied up in doctors later at 1:45, and then a detective turned teacher asks his students to help solve a case which is threatening his career at 2:15.